We humans love the sun. The warmth on our faces, relaxing and calming. Of course, we slather on the sunscreen to protect our skin. Well, our good friends the pig have an equally sensitive skin. When they're out in the sun, they need a little protection, and without that opposing thumb, it's hard to rub in the sunscreen. That's why they love to roll around in the mud to keep them cool and comfortable. Think of it as a high-end spa. Well, in keeping with the theme of sun and pig, on today's menu we have sun-dried tomato marinated pork tenderloin, warm potato salad with olives, oregano, and a creamy Greek dressing. Let the sun shine in. I'm Garret Schack, and that's what we're cooking on the coast. You ready for a little culinary sunshine? Well, so am I. On the menu today is sun-dried tomato marinated pork tenderloin with a warm potato salad, olives, oregano, and a creamy Greek dressing. Let's get started. Now, I love this dish so much, it's actually going to make an appearance on our restaurant menu. So I can't wait to show you how to make it, and then you can try it for yourselves at home. So the first thing we need to do is take a look at our pork tenderloin here. I've just got it wrapped up in a little cling film here. It's a really nice cut of meat. Very lean and still affordable in the grocery stores, so don't be shy to grab it. But you have to be careful when you're working with the tenderloin because it's lacking in fat, so it will get dry on you if you overcook it. What I'm doing here is I'm trimming off the silver skin. You can sort of see that little bit on the top here. Silver skin, super tough, doesn't break down with cooking, so you really need to take it off. It's a nice sharp knife, just tuck underneath and sort of peel it away here. If you're buying it at the local butcher, always support local if you can. If you're buying it at the local butcher, ask them to kind of take this bit off for you. Ask for the silver skin to be removed, okay? Now we're just gonna cut this one in half. So one pork tenderloin makes a couple of really nice portions here. See, that looks like two nice steaks. Premise of this show, we're going to do some marinating. Marinating is actually just really salt and water, and it was used as a preservative back in the day. Today, we're using it not so much as a preservative, but just as much to pack flavor into this great dish. We've got some sun-dried tomatoes. Just gonna tuck that over just a touch. We've got some sun-dried tomatoes, our trusty little canister here. We're gonna add these to the bowl and blitz them up. There we go. And a little bit of the olive oil that they're marinated in. So the marinade actually has a bit of flavor in it too. It's got some herbs, it's got some spices, so it actually makes them taste really good. In with our boat motor here. And we just want to blitz these up and almost make like a paste, because we're going to use this. We're going to use this to marinate and to let our pork tenderloin sit in that overnight. So all those sort of delicious tomato flavors are going to come together and make that pork taste even better, if you can imagine that. Okay, no worries. So here's a trick. Okay, you know this thing comes apart. We've shown you that at some point. Make sure you take it apart before you get your fingers in there. That sharp blade, you don't want to be missing fingers or toes in the marinade, okay? Here we go. Okay, we'll just set that aside right there. Now we've got a trusty resealable bag here. We'll throw our pork tenderloins into the bag. Perfect. And we'll pour that marinade right over top. Now some of you at home are going, oh, well, what about seasoning? What about seasoning? Well, we're not going to worry about salt right now. Salt actually draws moisture out of products. So if you add the salt now, it's going to pull moisture out of that pork, and then it's going to be a little bit more dry, and you'll see the bag will end up with a whole lot of wetness in it, okay? So add the salt later. We'll add salt later. We'll seal that up. Give it a little rub so you can have some fun. Shake your pork, you know? Get it all coated all over the place. Perfect. And then we're going to sort of just roll it up. And we'll fire that in the fridge for no more than 24 hours. I mean, you could do it for a few hours and you'll still get some flavor. If you let it sit overnight and cook with it that night for dinner, it'd be way better. So into the fridge we're gonna go. There we are. And on the other side here, we have one that we've already done. Really, that's the beauty of television, right? I make this look easy, don't I? I'll show you here. So we'll pull this guy out. So this one's been marinating overnight. And we're just going to set it down in our pan right here. Perfect. Now we're not going to sear this first. You know, traditionally you might sort of sear your pork tenderloin first and then fire it in the oven just to finish it off. We're actually just going to put it straight into the oven. If we were to sear it, we'd end up burning those sun-dried tomatoes and it wouldn't taste very good. So got the marinade on there. Let me tuck this out of the way. We need just a bit of salt on them. Some pepper. And then we're gonna fire this into a 350-degree oven. They're probably gonna take, let's say, we're gonna check them at 15 minutes. We don't want to overcook. We want them to be kind of a medium well, okay? There it goes. Perfect. There we are. Okay. Now, you probably noticed, as the show was going on there, you probably noticed that I had a pot boiling away over here. We've got some tricolor potatoes going on in here. We've got some Russian blues, some Yukon golds, and some red skid nugget potatoes. We want to make a warm potato salad. So first thing we need, potatoes. Here's a great way to test to see if the potatoes are done. If you can stick your knife in the center of that potato and it falls off your knife, you're done. They're pretty close. If it slides right through without resistance, you're doing really well. And those ones, they're ready to go. So let's drain this off. I'm going to take it over to the sink here behind me, and I'll just strain off the water. I'm not using a strainer, but you can at home just to watch out for steam. I'm just going to use the lid and pour this water into my trusty sink back here. There we go. All right. Get all that water out of there. Just gonna let these cool for a little bit before we chop them up. Now, we'll be back a little bit later in the show to pull together our sun-dried tomato marinated pork tenderloin with warm potato salad, olives, oregano, and creamy Greek dressing. But first, following the break, we're gonna get out of the kitchen. You'll wanna stick around for that. In an amazing West Coast setting like this, you might expect some sightseeing, a little fresh air, maybe some fresh fish. Well, we've come to the right place because we've got Dion here from Finest at Sea Fisheries. Hey, Dion, how are you, mate?
Hey, doing good.
Yeah. Well, so what goes on this food truck?
So here at Finest at Sea, we're 100% sustainable local fishing company. We feature all of our own product, caught by our own vessels and our own fishermen, brought right here to Victoria where it gets processed and then brought right to you guys.
Nice, so a real local company. That's fantastic.
Yeah, homegrown.
And sustainable. I mean, that's so important these days, right?
Incredibly important, yeah.
Fantastic. So what did you have in mind for whipping up today?
Today we're going to do some smoked albacore tuna tacos.
Nice, sounds delicious. Cool.
Yeah.
Show me how do we get started.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Dion, so we're in here on your cart now. Looks great. Smoked tuna taco. Why don't you get me started? Roll me through it here.
All right, so all we're doing, because the smoked tuna is already partially cooked, we just sear it on the outside.
Oh, nice. Listen to that sizzle, hey? That's perfect. Just what you want.
Exactly. You can see it gets nice and white, showing a good sear. It means your fish is as fresh as it gets.
Perfect, yeah. I can really smell the smoke on it too already, just coming off that griddle. That's fantastic. Very nice. So now, the cool thing about FAS and Finest at Sea, right, is that you guys can track your fish right to the boat, right to the waters it was caught from.
Yeah, we know every fisherman, every boat, where they're fishing, even the traps and the lines, everything is all properly labeled. You can source the origin back to directly where the fish was caught.
Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, that's the ultimate in sustainability for seafood, right? And accountability too, because now we know where that fish is coming from.
Exactly.
Very awesome. Yeah, cool. Cool, so we're just going to sear this off lightly, and most people know already that tuna you can kind of serve a little bit rare, right? You can get away with serving it not fully cooked. Otherwise, it tastes like that stuff from the can that we don't like to talk about too much anymore.
Exactly.
Very nice. So what else would you say goes on this this taco here?
So after it gets a light sear, you get your tortillas all nice and crispy.
Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Buck it up all good and proper.
Yeah, I like your rudimentary tools here. This is great.
That's right. All you need is the basics.
Yeah, nice fresh fish, crispy taco shells. All right. So into the container, a few pieces in each one. Man, it smells so good. Love smoked tuna. Looks fantastic. Right. Nice big chunks too. I like it. Chunky.
Yeah.
Not too often you see little tiny pieces in there, right?
Totally.
Like this way you know what you're getting.
Then we top it off with nice coleslaw.
Right. Any special ingredients in that coleslaw, or are you allowed to tell me?
So the trick that we like to use is kind of a pickle brine.
Oh yeah, okay.
As well as some sunflower seeds and cumin that really brings out all the good flavors Complements the fish a lot.
Makes it a little bit unique too, right?
Yeah. And then we got a nice salsa on top.
Oh, look how colorful that is. That looks fantastic. Nice and fresh too. Love it. Oh, he's got some skills, folks. He's got some skills. Look at that.
Garnish with chipotle mayonnaise.
This is always the hardest part, hey? Getting it out of the bottle.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. Wow, that looks fantastic.
Right.
Cool, and that's how you'd serve it, just like that?
And these are our tuna tacos.
Oh, fantastic. Well, do you mind if I grab one and have a bite?
Please, help yourself.
Looks fantastic. I can't wait. This is the best part of my job, I won't lie to you. There you go. Oh, whoa. A hint of that smoke. Napkin, you're a good man, thank you. You know what I like is the texture too.
Yeah.
It's got all the flavor, lots of smoke, lots of fresh tasting flavors in there from the cilantro, from the salsa. But you got a nice little crunch in there too. Spot on, Deanne. I think you nailed it, mate.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You mind if I keep eating?
Oh yeah, please.
Cool. Thanks again for having me on the car, pal.
Yeah, no worries.
Really appreciate it.
Nice to have you.
Here's a shout out to Sustainable Seafood.
Yeah, that's right.
It's back to our kitchen. We're working on sun-dried tomato marinated pork tenderloin with a warm potato salad, olives, oregano, and a creamy Greek dressing. Really excited about this dish, and things are really coming together. So we've accumulated a few things that we need here for our salad, so let's get started on that. Need some red onion, and you'll see here that I'm gonna cut it a little bit differently. Not gonna do a really fine chop, I'm gonna do I want kind of like cubes here, something just a little bit smaller than the potatoes, but still has lots of texture and lots of size to it. Okay, so there we go. Into our bowl. See how they just fall apart there like that, and then you'll be able to get like these little pieces, individual slices on each bite. We want some yellow pepper, yellow sweet pepper, and here's a cool way of doing it to avoid any seeds. There you go, and don't miss that little end bit. Okay, that's just as delicious. Into the compost. So you can see now I've cut most of the rib away. We got no seeds. That's beautiful. If you did happen to miss some of this sort of white rib bit, just cut it out just like that. Perfect. Now, same thing. We want those just about the same size as our red onions. Go like that. Nice little crunch as I cut through them. Sweet bell peppers are probably one of my favorite things. Seems like I have a lot of favorite things, don't I? But hey, when it comes to food, there's no stopping. Here we go. Okay, that's gonna go into our bowl. Perfect. What else we have here? We got some more sun-dried tomatoes. Chop those up just a little bit. You don't want a big chunk like that in there, so we're gonna do these julienne. We'll go a little bit further. And this will tie nicely in with our pork that's in the oven right now. Okay, there we go. In they go. Lovely, lovely. And then we have some Kalamata olives. Beautiful purple color. They're really tasty. Got a little bit of salt to them, brine nicely. They can go right into our bowl as well. And already you can see here, wow, those colors are really coming together. It looks absolutely incredible. Next up, our potatoes. So we have all these cooked potatoes here. The small ones, if you see them like this, they can just go get fired right in there. The slightly larger ones, we're just gonna cut them in half and into our bowl, okay? Russian red, there's our thin-skinned red potato, new potato, the baby Yukons. Awesome. All these colors and flavors, they're gonna come together so nicely. Great. And the rest of these are kind of small enough that I can just pop them right in there, and away we go. Now they're still warm, so what's gonna happen here when I make my dressing and put it all on there is they're actually going to absorb that flavor. I want some oregano in there, because when you're doing, this is kind of a Greek-themed dish, so when you're doing Greek food, Greek and oregano goes hands in hand. I'm definitely going to leave it nice and big and chunky here. Kind of, I want to be able to sort of bite into a leaf of oregano and go, okay, wow, yeah, I just really got a nice bite of oregano there. Here we go. Lovely, lovely. Did you know that actually the olive tree is really amazing, in fact, because it's actually only after 15 years of being planted that it starts producing olives, which is a long time to wait, but boy, once they start producing, it's just incredible. So here we have, just gonna toss it up, and you can see all the beautiful colors coming together. That oregano, the yellow pepper, the red onion. Okay, now, great, yeah, it's potatoes and vegetables all in a bowl. What's gonna bring this whole thing all together is our creamy feta Greek dressing here, okay? So where do we start? We need some feta cheese. In it goes. Got some nice goat feta here. Just crumble it up. Probably gonna use about half of that amount there. There we go. We want some olive oil. Pour that whole whack in there. Lovely. Roasted garlic, so roast this at home. Just take your garlic bulbs, roast them up a little bit till they're nice and golden brown. Really softens the flavor of that garlic. Doesn't give it that real bite. We're looking for more depth than we are for that punch of the garlic. We need some lemon juice. So I like to roll the lemon on the cutting board like that a little bit. And it kind of breaks up all the juice, makes it easier to squeeze. Squeeze the juice of, let's go half a lemon for now. We'll mix it all up and see how it tastes afterwards. And if we need to add some more acidity, we can do that. Down it goes. Salt. Bang. Pepper. Oops, hey, grab some rosemary there too. Throwing things around the kitchen. That always means you're having fun, so don't worry about it. Okay, we need a little bit of Dijon mustard. Spoon down here. Probably about half a tablespoon should do the trick here. I'm not trying to overpower anything. And then we need some sour cream. Okay, we're gonna put that whole thing in there. Fair bit of sour cream. So it's a nice creamy white dressing. Give it a little mix, and then we're gonna get that boat motor that we used out, immersion blender that we used a little bit earlier in the show. I'm gonna pop that out. Here we go. Zing, zing. Okay, in it goes. And you're gonna see that this dressing is gonna start to emulsify. The Dijon vinegar actually helps it all come together. And it'll make it taste really, really good. There we go. Okay. I have some Tabasco here, so I want a little bit of heat in there. We got some from the pepper, but I want a little bit of heat from the pepper as well, or from the Tabasco. I know, enough with the mixing already, but we really want this to come together. We want to make sure that those chunks of garlic get all blended in nicely and the feta crushed up. Okay. All right, very nice. Knock that away. Perfect. Couple drops of Tabasco, and then we'll give it a taste and see how we did. There we go. There's my spoon again here. Lovely. All right. The feta adds this saltiness and this richness to it. You get the depth from the garlic and the olive oil. Really spectacular. I'm actually not sure I would do anything to change this now, so I'm just gonna give it another little stir and then get it into our salad. There we go. Beautiful. We'll save some for later. Now, here's the fun part again. We get to toss it all around, right? No point in just getting in there with a spoon. That's no fun. Let's do this. See if we can get it out of the bowl. There we go. Look at that. Doesn't that look fantastic? So many colors. It's vibrant, glistening at the moment. And I can really smell that vinegar. Or sorry, I can really smell that feta cheese. It's really incredible. Okay. Nice, nice. Now, can't forget about our pork. It's sitting in the oven. It's been about 15 minutes or so, so I think we're ready to go grab that. We'll put it down here on our cutting board. Oh, right away I get a waft of that sun-dried tomato. But then you still get that pork smell. I mean, everybody out there knows what bacon smells like, but pork cooking as well has this really unique flavor. So you want to let these rest just for a few seconds. I'm going to set them down right over here. Okay, and then we'll get to our presentation. We got a plate right here in front of us. And I'm just gonna take a spoon and sort of spoon this out into the center of our plate. Just like so. Making sure we get a little bit of everything on there. We got those yellow peppers, the Russian blue potatoes, the red onion. There we go. Find those olives. Oh man, so nice. Some fresh oregano. Very, very nice. Perfect. I know the oven's yelling at me here. I better pay attention to it, hey? I'm sorry. I'll be right there. Now let's take one of these pork loins, pick our favorite one. Yeah, I think I like that one. Set it right there. Just gonna slice this one into maybe 3 nice slices. Look at that, holy smokes. Mike, are you getting this? Because that is perfectly cooked. I couldn't have done this better if it was on television. Amazing. Onto the top of our salad here. Spread it out just a little bit. Looks delicious, smells incredible. Don't want to waste any of that sun-dried tomato that's been roasting there. I'm gonna garnish with it just a little bit more of this fresh oregano. And maybe a drizzle of our dressing that's left over here. Yeah, there we go. Doesn't that look incredible? Perfect. And there you have it, sun-dried tomato marinated pork tenderloin, warm potato salad with olives, oregano, and a creamy Greek dressing. Looks fantastic. And now for my favorite part of the show, as always, the beverage pairing. With me today is Gary Lindsay from Driftwood Brewery. All right, mate.
Nice to be here, Garret.
Nice to have you back again.
Thanks.
So
Thanks for
I've got
having
some
me.
sun-dried tomato pork tenderloin.
I hear.
And now I had the
Nice
pleasure
smell.
of trying your beer before we did
You
this
did?
show. I did, yes, I did. Thank you for
little
that, by
sneak
the way.
preview. You're welcome.
Indeed. So I happen to know that it goes super well already. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the beer?
Well, it's called a Hoffenweiss style. The beer brand for Driftwood is called Entangled, and it's sort of the marriage of two different styles of beer. So it's got sort of a German hef character with North American hop. So it's like a hoppy wheat beer.
Cool.
Sort of a North American take on a Weizenbock.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, because normally a German sort of wheat beer would be kind of banana-y, tropical.
Yeah, there's some tropical fruit notes to the yeast production from it. I mean, Hefeweizen means basically yeast beer in German. So we're sort of taking those best elements of the yeast and combining them with mosaic hops. And the mosaic hop has got a really tropical fruit flavor, so it's quite
fun.
unique.
So it works perfect.
And it pairs perfectly with this.
Right, so let's stop talking about it, right? And let's get into this.
Let's get this thing open.
Like I said, I had a bit of a taste of it, but what the heck are you using there?
The old-fashioned,
The old-fashioned
wood and nail
I'm
together.
in the weeds for a can opener or a bottle opener.
It's a beauty.
That's awesome,
And it
fantastic.
doesn't damage the cap at all.
Oh, it's for a souvenir, right?
So we'll pour off a little bit of the Entangled.
Very nice. Love the name. Love the labels too, by the way. That's
it.
that local art?
It is actually a company up in Nanaimo called Hired Guns has sort of captured our intent on well with the labels. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent pour,
Cheers.
my friend. Well done.
That's perfect again.
Yeah, it's like you've done this before, hey?
Cheers.
Oh, man. That's going to be a dangerous beer. It really is, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to drink 100 of them. Well, let's dig in.
All right, sure.
I think the pork, like I said,
with the sun-dried tomato.
yeah, the sun-dried tomatoes are just going to bring out all the flavors in that beer. Oh, man. It's so tender. I'm not doing my own horn. Like, your beer is
No.
amazing.
Yeah. That is beautiful. Yeah, beautiful texture.
That's a good sign, hey? Brewery guy is going back for seconds, and I'm just dipping into the beer. Fantastic.
Really digging into the peppers and things with that salad. It's the notes of this beer really well.
Great fruitiness in there. Gary? Knocked it out of the brewery, mate. Thanks very much. Appreciate you being here today.
Brilliant again.
Check out our website where you'll find more information on today's show and maybe a few surprises. I'm Garret Schack. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to savor the flavor. All right, then we got the work out of the way. We can get back to eating here.
Cheers.
Yeah, indeed.